Hello, welcome back to Reboot Your Business podcast. I finally got it right. How is everybody? How has your working week been? Business week been? Personal life week been? Family? Everything going okay? Let's talk about the 5 W's. So you've got who, what, when, why, where. That's what we're kind of going to talk about today. But just before that, I like to always do a little catch up, a weekly catch up. What has everybody been up to? Have any of you got sunshine? As you can tell by my dulcet tones, I'm in Glasgow. Can't quite see the blue skies yet, but we do have something bright shining through those clouds. And it's made people put their washing out, which is a good thing, because that's the one thing I look forward to at this time of year is when can I get my first washing out. I know that's not quite business related, but if you do laundry for a business, might be. Save yourself on some gas, electricity, whatever. So yes, I think everybody's enjoying the fact that now, I'm hesitant to say this. We're stepping towards spring. See, I said this a week or two ago, and then the next day we had torrential rain. So if it rains tomorrow, I'm sorry. I apologise. Potentially my fault, but I can't take all the blame for it. Mother Nature needs to take some of the blame, or whoever dictates the weather. Definitely not me. I'm just telling you what happened to me a week or two ago. But hey ho. So who is on social media and who's following Reboot Your Business podcast? Who's following Reboot Your Thoughts podcast? And who's following the Reboot Sanctuary? Those are all my pages. Hint, hint. Can you go give them a wee follow, a wee like, a wee share, a wee whatever? And by the way, if you would like me to reciprocate and follow any of your pages, let me know, and it will be my pleasure, is what I'm trying to say, to reciprocate. I can't talk today, it's Sunday, so I need to put a wee disclosure out. If my phone goes off, rings, pings, dings, dongs, whatever it does, I'm sorry, but I can't put it on silent today because both my boys are out. One's out in a motorbike, his motorbike. He has been riding a motorbike for the last 8 years, but my heart's still in my throat every time he goes out. I still worry every time he says, I'm going out my motorbike today, or I'm going out my motorbike tomorrow. So I've been known for a few days he's going out today, and I've worried about it every day. So he's away out on the bike. The other one's out with his friend away at the cinema. And it doesn't matter what your children are doing when they're not in eye shot, you worry. It doesn't matter what age they are, nothing. So I need to leave my phone on today. I mean, I know I tend to forget anyway, but let's bypass that bit. So, did anybody listen to last week's? Last week was just a wee introduction. Last week wasn't really anything major. There was no major information there apart from the fact telling you about my, business coaching. But I think I forgot to mention that within the business coaching there's also wellness in business coaching, which is to do with mental health. So you can have the one package, the two packages, the whatever. You can have one or the other, or you can have both combined, is what I'm trying to say. It's Sunday, brain's not working, and I'll give it my best shot today. You know? Listen, if you listen to Reboot Your Thoughts podcast, or if you know me personally, you will know that this is me on a daily basis, and sometimes you just need to roll with it. We get the words out eventually. We all just come together right now. You will realise that about me as well. Every now and again I'll just burst into song. And I'm sorry if you don't like my singing. but it's the only time I can get away with it without anybody shouting at me. And I do have one wee gentleman who follows the Reboot Your Thoughts podcast who actually enjoys my singing, and he's the only person. I'm actually starting to think I might put on a wee concert just for him, just so that I can see somebody appreciate my singing. It's a good job I didn't go into singing as a career, as a business, because from what I've been told I might not make an awful lot of money. I don't think that career would have lasted very long, but it doesn't mean I need to give up. I will never give up singing, to my son's dismay. Anywho, let's get on with what we're actually supposed to be talking about. Business. Let's get down to business. That's the other thing. If I end a sentence on a word that I know will fall straight into a song, you'll also hear me singing at that point. You're very welcome. Please come again. Listen, don't abandon me just because of you're envious of my singing tones, my vocals, my something. No, I'm joking. Listen, if I can't joke about my singing, then neither can you, and I do joke about it, so you fire away. Just don't be nasty. Just don't come for me. We don't accept any bitter hate, nastiness, trolling, anything at the Reboot Sanctuary or any of our podcasts. Another wee disclosure for you. Anyway, the 5 W's. What, when, where, who, why. These are the 5 W's that you're going to have to really think about and kind of quiz yourself on. They'll make you think about whether the choice you've made is the right choice. Potentially. They'll make you think about the whole business structure. Make you question, because you've got to question yourself, as well as potentially, say for example you were going to go to the bank and ask them for a loan to start up your business. They're going to question you, so you need the right answers before you go. Now, as I said last week, not every business is going to need funding to start up. Not every business needs money to start up, because business is different nowadays. The person, you as a person, could be the business. If, say for example, you're an influencer, or you're a model, a DJ, a therapist, or whatever, you as a person will be the business. But then if it's a restaurant, if it's a supermarket, if it's a retail outlet, then the business is more than just you. It's the product. So you are the product of the business, or the product is something that you can physically put in your hand and buy. That makes sense? Remember folks, we're on Sunday. Aileen's brain kinda dies down a wee bit on a Sunday. I'll try to get the words out here. Without worrying about a child on a motorbike. I mean, he's not a child, he's in his 20s, but that's not the point. So, what makes you want to go into business? What's made you choose that path rather than being employed, for example, or being a 24-hour parent, 24/7 parent, full-time parent? This isn't me having a dig at anybody at all, because I've been both. Well, I've been all three, should I say. Been a business owner, I'm a business owner. I've been a full-time parent, I'm a full-time parent, because I work from home and I'm a parent at the same time. But that's not me slating anybody, because I've also had a business where I've been out and about and I've not been at home 24/7. I've also been employed. I've been a 24/7 full-time stay-at-home mum and not had a job. And I'm not going to say one is better than the other, because each individual section is going to be beneficial to different people. So some people benefit from staying home with their kids, some people will benefit from being employed, and others will benefit from having their own business and being able to make their own choices. Nobody should be criticised for any choices that they make if they're the right choices for them. So what's made you go into it? Is it you want to be your own boss? Is it you want to choose everything to do with your working hours, working day, what you sell, who you sell, not who you sell as in you're selling other people, but basically yourself, who you're selling to, should I say. That's terrible, isn't it? Makes me sound like a criminal. I've been a criminal in my life. What was I going to say? What sector of business do you want to go in? So, do you want to go into trading? Do you want to go into, like I said, influencing, being online full time? Like, social media is your business. Do you want to become a model where you might be travelling the world depending how much work you get and where the work is? Do you want to go into retail? Do you want to start up your own business, your own line of clothing? Have you got a niche for making food and you think that's your passion, that's where you want to be? So you've got to think about what is the reason? What is the reason? And what sector do you want to be in? Where do you want to be based? Do you want to be known globally? Do you just want to be, and I don't mean just as in just, would you prefer to be a little boutique on your local high street and that's enough for you? Because it's enough for many people. Not everybody wants to be global, and not everybody's got the time and energy to be global either, because that takes a lot. Do you want to solely be online? Do you want to have shop front? Do you want offices? Do you want staff? When is the best time for you to start up? So, are you going to start putting the feelers out just now because you know that in a month's time you're going to be ready? Or are you waiting a year? Are you waiting 18 months? Is it going to be in 9 months' time? Who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for you? Are you doing it to get the recognition from others? Are you doing it for your children? Doing it for your family? And why? Why now? Why is now the right time for you to get into business? These are some of the questions. Now, I'm not saying that's the only what, when, where, who and why questions you're going to have, but these are just some of the things that you're going to have to think about, and you need to be 100% focused, because the onus is always going to come back on you, especially at the beginning. You have to be your own boss, and I don't just mean by saying, oh, I'm going to work 9 to 5 tomorrow, but on Wednesday you need to be the person. So if you're employed, you're going to have somebody kicking you up the bum every 5 minutes if you're slacking. You need to be that person to you. You need to keep saying to yourself, right, come on, you need to put more hours in, or come on, you need to put less hours in, because some people can take it too far and then they lose their way and they end up 20 hours at work and they don't see their family. They don't get to socialise with their friends. They don't have any kind of life, and they burn themselves out. You need to be able to put pressure on yourself, but not too much pressure. You need to be able to rein yourself in. You need to be able to make all the decisions until you've got staff that you can have making some decisions for you. It's not easy, but with the right help and support round about, it can work, and it will work, and I'm sure you'll be absolutely amazing at it. But you need to be prepared. You need to be mentally and physically prepared to go into business, because if you think how many businesses are out there grinding every day, so depending on what sector you're getting into will depend on how many other businesses you're up against, in a sense. But always be positive and always be your number one champion. Always be able to tell yourself, you can do this. And at the times where you might be struggling, ask for help, ask for the right help. Why did I go into business? I've told you this last week, I think I told you this. I don't know if I told you the full details. So I've always wanted to be in business since my mid-teens. And just did the timing was never right. And then obviously I went to go and work at Ann Summers, where you're self-employed, you do everything for yourself, you're essentially your own business at that point. And I absolutely loved it, and I knew it was right for me and everything else. Then I took unwell and whatever, had a few family commitments I had to deal with. Then I went back into employment, and all I kept thinking about was, I just want to have my own business again. I want to be a business owner. I want to create something for myself and my kids. I want to be able to create something amazing. And I'm still on that journey, don't get me wrong. I'm not at the point where I want to be, not by a long shot. I have so many things going round in my head. I've got so many bits of paper and everything else, and things on my laptop and things on my walls and whatever, because I'm still striving to get to a point where I want to be. And I think when you get to a point, you always need to make the next destination for yourself, because you don't want to necessarily just go, all right, okay, that's me there, and what do I do now? Do I just leave it at that? You should always be making another point for yourself, the next destination, the next goal to aim for. So yes, I started my own business, loved it. The business probably wasn't, I lost passion for it after quite a few years. Also my health didn't help, hence why I eventually closed that business, because I lost the passion. You need to have a passion for that business that you're in, or you just kind of give up in a sense. But this is 100%. Now I know this is where I was meant to be. I was meant to be helped, because I've always enjoyed helping others. I've always enjoyed giving advice. I've always enjoyed that side of it, whether it be I was in customer service, or I was face to face with customers in hairdressing, or I was working in a call centre and having a laugh and a joke over the phone with my customers while I was trying to help them. I've always enjoyed helping people, and every single role that I've had, at some point I've always been dealing with customers, and I've always enjoyed it. Friends have always said to me that I should go into counselling, etc. And obviously I started off in counselling, and then I've took it that bit further, where I've added in the business coaching, the life coaching, the wellness and business coaching, etc. So yes, I am now in the business that I will be in forever, and I'll just keep growing it, and I'll keep enjoying it, and I'll keep loving it, and I'm whatever amount of years down the line, 5 years down the line, and I don't see that changing at any point. Obviously now I've added in the 2 podcasts, which I absolutely love doing. And it's funny, because I always thought if I was going to do a podcast, I would do it with somebody else. And I do have one that I do with my best friend as well, but that's nothing to do with this business. But I always thought any podcast I would do it with somebody else, and that's the only way you could do a podcast. But absolutely not. So if things like podcasting and whatever it is, the thing that you're looking to get into, or if you're looking to do like videos for YouTube, all that sort of thing, and they could be about anything. They could be gaming, they could be educational, they could just be for fun. These are all things that we can help with, but it's also classed as a business. So that this is what I'm saying, like, business is different from what it was 30 years ago. 30 years ago, when you thought about business, you would have thought about finance, retail, food industry, all these kind of things. You never had online at the time, so you wouldn't have had your, in inverted commas, YouTubers, your gamers, your podcasters. Obviously you had the radio back then, we're not that old, so you still had radio hosts, but you didn't have as much as what you've got now. You didn't have businesses that could potentially survive solely online. And that's the good thing about the internet now, is it can take you. You don't have to be a huge retail outlet to be worldwide. You can be Joe Blogs sitting in his room on his laptop and be known worldwide, because of the internet. So these are all things as well. If you are going to go into things like influencing and gaming and all that, obviously you need to be realistic in the sense that if you do really well and you do become, in inverted commas, famous or known, then it can change your life in lots of different ways as well. So when you're going to start up business, or when you're thinking about going into business and starting up a business, think long and hard about what type of business you want to go into. And these are all things that we can help in the business coaching. Business coaching isn't just about helping people that are already in business. You can just be considering getting into business, and we can help you get you from A to B, get you from just before the starting point and get you started up. So when you're thinking about your product, again, whether you are the product or it is a physical product, it needs to be something that you're passionate about. If you are, let's say for example, you're diabetic, so you can't really eat a lot of sweet treats, can you? Are you going to want to open up a bakery? I mean, you might enjoy baking, and if that's what you enjoy, then that's fine. Or are you somebody that's not an animal lover, let's say that? Are you going to open up a pet shop? No. So you want to have something that you've got knowledge in and something that you are going to enjoy, because you don't want to, if you're going into business versus taking on an employed role, usually when we go into employment, unless you've got all the certificates you need to have your own career, we usually just kind of, if you're like me, you would just see a job, apply for it and hope for the best. There wasn't really any thought went into it. But whereas when you're going into business, you need to put a lot of thought into it, because yeah, you're turning up for work every day and you're getting a wage at the end of it when you're in employment, but you're going home and you can the minute you walk out that door, you can forget about that job until the next day or the next shift. Whereas when you're in business, you're thinking about it 24/7. You've got to think about the next thing you're adding in. You've got to think about what's doing well, what's not doing well. Am I going to sell? I was going to say something there, but that sounds like when I was working at Summer's. Nearly said, are you going to sell all the rabbits? Listen, you might sell all the rabbits, you might have a wee thumper in there, you never know. And you're going to sell all the goldfish. You could sell them to the local carnival. I don't even know, do they still do that? Do they still give goldfish away when you do the, hook the duck? Is that what it was called? I think that's what it was called. There's another career you might have, another business you might start up, a carnival. You can be giving away your goldfish and your thumper for your pet shop. So yes, I've lost my train now. I'm thinking about rabbits and thumper. Listen, that's another career, isn't it? Not rabbits and thumper, but you've got OF, you've got all these things. You've got, listen, the world is your oyster, and whatever choice you decide to make, when you decide that's a business platform, that's a business road, the route I'm taking, you take that route and you take it with both hands and be your biggest champion. And if you want a second person champion you on, I'm your gal. Listen, I'll give you, don't get me wrong, if I think something's going wrong, I will definitely tell you. And this is the thing with business coaching, I touched on it last week, I'm sure. If you can't take criticism, you 100% do not want a business coach. Now, we're not there to sit and slate you, don't get me wrong, but if we see something that isn't working or something that you might want to tweak, you need to let us tell you. You need to listen to what we're saying, and not to say that we're 100% right. If you don't agree, you tell us what you don't agree, and we can talk it through and we can come to some sort of solution. But you do need to be able to take the good with the bad. take the positives and any negatives there might be. Now, there might not be any at all. You might be doing everything perfectly fine, but you might need to add something in, or you might need to tweak something. That doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Listen, I need to tweak things all the time. We all need to tweak things for, depending on, there's always a new social media starting up, or there's always, you can add in, like, for example, what's that called? TikTok. You can do TikTok lives, you can do Facebook lives, you can do Instagram lives, you can do all these, you can do YouTube live. Who knew? I tend to find these things out last. I'm joking. So that's just a wee joke about my age, because most people in this house, bearing in mind there's only 3 of us in this house, tend to joke about my age every day, and it's definitely not me. I am perfectly happy with my age. There's just some jobs that I probably wouldn't be fit for anymore that I might have been fit for 25 years ago. Listen, I'm not granny yet, and I don't think anybody's got any intentions of making me one anytime soon. But there you go. Even grannies can go into business. It doesn't matter what age you are, if you are happy to do so. So when you're doing your what, when, where, why, sit down with a bit of paper. I'm old school, hear me out. Okay? I know there's a lot of business people out there who've got their home offices and they've just sit with their computer or their laptop, and that's all they need, in a couple of wee ring lights and whatever else. I've still got the filing cabinets and the A4 folders and the everything else, because I am very old school. I keep things on a hard drive and I keep things in a laptop. Not a laptop, what's that other thing I said? A filing cabinet. I mean, I keep it on my laptop as well, but I need to make sure I'm I've covered all bases. And I'm not going to tell you have to do that, but be like Aileen. Go for paper and pen. Because they don't break down as much as computers. I'm not saying your computer's got to break down on you, but how many mobile phones have you had in your lifetime or in your adulthood that you've took photos with and you no longer have those photos because you no longer have that phone because that phone died? Do you remember, like, how long ago? Maybe 20 years ago? Yeah, about 20 years ago, that's roughly when the mobile phones had cameras on them, wasn't it? Because before that I don't think they did. So I went through a phase where I would drop my phone, and instead of stopping and picking it up, I would take a step, bend down, pick it up and realise it was under my foot and I'd smashed it. So I'd lost all the photos. This was before the times when you could just go and take it to the wee guy down the road and he might fix it for you. So I've had many phones where I've never got the photos out of it, and that's my fear. That's why everything's paper and pen, because what if, I know you can back things up, I know that, but I'm just saying, what if, that could be one of your whats, what if my computer breaks and everything breaks with it? Oh, I've just gone to my filing cabinet, I'll get my wee bit of paper out. So Aileen is a very much a paper and pen person, and I have probably an addiction to, now I know this isn't like AA or anything like that, and we're not in any kind of meeting, but I maybe just put it out there. Aileen is addicted to stationery, and she has drawers full of notepads that haven't been used yet, but yet she still buys more, because every time she sees one and thinks, that's quite nice, that's lovely, that's cute, that's different, oh, that's unique, she has to buy at least 5 or 6. So if you decide to go into stationery business, let me know. I'm sure I'll be your best customer. Don't know why I need all this stationery, but apparently I do. So there is a niche out there, there is a market out there for people still buying paper and pen. If anybody does think, I wonder if anybody would be interested in a stationery shop, place, boutique, start a stationery boutique in Glasgow and I'll be there every day. So, write your what's, your when's, your where's, your who's, your why's down. So, and I don't just mean write the words down, I mean write your questions. So what business do I want to go into? What is the reasoning as to why I chose that business? Whatever what's you can think of, you write every what down. Whatever when you can think of, you write it down. Where, who, why. Write every question that you can think of to do with this particular business or your idea for business. Write them all down. Then write your answers down and go over the answers and think to yourself, okay, is that a justifiable reason to go into business? Is that a justifiable reason to choose the business that I have potentially chosen? How I'm going to do it, where I'm going to do it, when I'm going to do it, why I'm going to do it. Yes. And can I just say, I think potentially if I would have had a business coach whatever amount of years ago when I first went into business, 13 years ago or something, but not when I first went in, but I don't mean Ann Summers, I mean when I first started my own initial business about 13 years ago or whatever it was, it would have definitely avoided a lot of the tears and the struggles and the hair loss and the everything. Probably threw money away in situations that I didn't need to. I probably made a lot of wrong choices when it came to suppliers initially. And I didn't have, I don't even just mean a business coach, I didn't have anybody that I knew in business at the time who I could go to and say, right, what do you think of this? Or, do you think this is a good idea? Do you think that, where am I going here? Is that a busy area? Blah, blah, blah. All these different things, I had nobody at the time. I was probably one of the first out of all my friends within my circle. I'm not saying all my friends are in business or not, but we've all done different things. And sometimes if somebody else doesn't have the same passion as you about a certain subject, a certain topic, you're not necessarily going to go and ask their advice, are you? So, for example, my mum's a nurse, and she has been a nurse she went straight into her nursing training from leaving school at 17. And so she's not going to be my niche person to go and ask business advice from. She's never entertained any kind of business situation. My dad, Jay, you could ask him a few things because he has had his own business. My uncle's had his own business. So there is people that I could have asked, but, well, I did ask my uncle a few things, to be fair. We'll maybe talk about that another day. We're not talking about that today. No, Aileen's in a good mood. We're not putting Aileen in a bad mood today. And it wasn't to be saying anything bad about me or my business, I don't mean that. That's just a whole other story. Be careful who you ask for advice. Let's just say that. So yes, there's many things. But also think about, have you got enough finance to get you by at least the first few months? Because you don't know how quick money's going to start coming in. You need to be able to ensure you can still pay your personal bills, i.e. rent, mortgage, car, gas, electricity, food, anything you need for the kids, anything you need for the house. All these different things, they still need to be paid even if your business hasn't taken off quite as quickly as you would have anticipated. So ensure you've got something in the bank or some kind of income still coming in. So it might be that you continue in employment while initially starting up, while you're getting your name out there. Or if you take out a business loan, you've got to make sure that you've taken out a wee bit extra to cover, or start advertising before you actually start up. Get the interest out there. Get people talking about you in a good way. I know they say all publicity is good publicity, but please, don't go for the bad publicity. No. I know bad publicity can bring in the nosy folk, the wee nosy normas, the wee curtain twitchers, but they're not there for the right reason. They're just there for a story. Don't do it. No matter how much you think any publicity is good publicity, it's really not. Don't start off with bad publicity, please. I beg you. Anyway, anybody any questions? I know you can't answer me right now, but if you do have any questions, just email in to Reboot Your Business podcast@gmail.com, or you can fill out the contact form, contact me, whatever it's called, forum on the rebootsanctuary.com, which is my website. If you are interested in any kind of business coaching, again, you can contact me through the website, or you can email in. On the website you'll also find my phone number if you do want to have a quick chat. But what I will say is, even if you fill out the contact form, I do always offer an initial phone consultation with every potential new client. They can take anything from 20 minutes to an hour to whatever. Listen, there's always got to be enough time for all the questions that you might have, I might have, etc. But yeah, ask yourself all the questions. Ask yourself the who's, the what's, the when's, the why's. And just ensure that listen, I know I'm saying ask yourself all the questions and make sure that you're 100% on everything. You're obviously going to have doubts, in a sense that you're going to second guess yourself. You're going to question yourself, am I doing this? Am I doing the right thing? And a little bit of nerves is always good, because if you don't have the nerves, if you don't have yourself questioning anything, then it doesn't give you the push. You always need something that's pushing you further, and you want to keep making yourself goals. So what's your first goal? What's your second goal? But don't make too many goals to start with. Do your first goal to start with. You want to do whatever in, say, 3 months. That's your first goal. It's only a goal. It's not that you have to 100% get that. Now, obviously, we want you to 100% get it, because that's amazing for you. But if you don't, just move that goal another 3 months or another month, whatever it might be. See how close you are to it. Because if you're just starting off, then you don't know what goals and how quick you're going to reach them. So hence why it is just a goal to aim for. If you can get to it, fantastic. If you can't get to it, let's work together, see why you didn't get to it. Were you close to it? Great. So then you only need to move it slightly. Move the goal slightly, and maybe aim for a little bit more the next time than what you're at just now. Just add on. But these are all things that we can do together. There's ways that we can keep you focused. There's constant contact if you need it. I think because I done it all on my own, and I'm a very independent female, do you know, one of the ones that, not the type that doesn't like men, I don't mean it like that, but I'm very much, I want to try and do it. I want to try. And if I try and I don't, I can't do it, at least I tried. But I don't want to ever say I didn't try with anything in life. But let's get you to your business goal, to your full potential, to wherever you're destined to be. Let's all work together. And that's the good thing about the coaching, is there will be some sessions that will be group, there will be some sessions that will be just for you individually, and you're going to benefit from both, because when you're in the group, you might see somebody talking about a topic or saying something that you think, oh, do you know what, that's actually a good idea, I'm going to look into that. Or, I didn't think about that. Somebody might ask a question that you've got the answer to, you can help them, vice versa. So it's about businesses coming together and businesses helping businesses, isn't it? It's not about who am I competing against, or oh, I can't do that because what if they steal my idea or whatever else. nobody's going to steal your idea. Everything is unique to you, and anybody that's going to be in the coaching sessions, the group coaching sessions, are already going to be in business, and what we can try and do is just limit whatever businesses are in, if that's going to, or if you only want to do the individual, we can do that. Listen, there's lots of different ways. We're going to be setting up, we've got a new programme, well, it's the second round of this programme coming, business programme coming, but this one that's coming in, I think it's April, it's starting May. This is for people that are already in business, that have got employees, but in the next, where are we? I've not got my phone, it's charging. What date are we on? The 9th. So I think, when is it? Just after Easter, there'll be a new programme starting for people that are thinking about getting into business. But in between times, I still have things going on individually, so you can still jump on the individual, and if you want to come into the group, you can do that. Like I said, we've got the private Facebook group where everybody can come in and ask each other questions. There'll be a lot of replays in there as well from any group sessions you might have missed on Zoom. There's lots to come. There's lots that I'm not going to put all the information out just now until it's 100% ready. But yeah, we want you to get you to your full potential. And again, whether that be you're the business or you have a physical product you're selling, we're here to help everybody. Here to help everybody. Can I just say, I don't know if I've told you, I've been talking about it for weeks. In fact, I've been talking about it for 2 months on my other podcast. I've been trying to find a new house. If you're in property, hit me up. To private let at the minute. And I can't get one. But I was just on TikTok there and I've just seen my dream house. Exactly what I've been thinking about, but it's for sale, that's the only problem, and I can't afford it at the minute. Apparently I don't even know where it is, I just know it's somewhere in Scotland. I think it's relatively near me, but I could be completely wrong. I'm just going by the person's accent. I mean, it could be in Spain for all I know. No, it's definitely in Scotland. But it's advertised as a 7-bedroom house, but it's a 5-bedroom house with a separate 2-bedroom cottage out the back. Oh my god, that I need that. So I never won the lottery last week, I never won the lottery yesterday, so I'm hoping Tuesday, and if it's still for sale, I'll have it. I don't care where it is, I'll have it, I'll take it. Guess it. Cheers. I'll buy it off you. I'll even give you over the odds. But then I thought about, well, if it does go up if it does get sold and I do win the lottery, I could just build my own, couldn't I? But no, see, this house is absolutely perfect. It's ready to just walk into. It might not be your exact taste because it's very grey and white. Do you know, that was a big thing for a long time there. I've never been that person. I've just been whatever I like. I've never been the one where my whole house is the one colour. Whereas this whole house and the wee 2-bedroom cottage is all the one colour. That's never really been my vibe. But if that's what I'm walking into and I don't need to decorate because it looks stunning, I'll keep it that way. Less work for me. The only thing is, the whole white and pale grey, you'd see every bit of dust, wouldn't you? Oh, I need to get myself a cleaner for that 7-bedroom house. Anybody thinking about starting up a cleaning business? Hit me up. I'm joking. I've not got no the day. Maybe when I move. But yeah, so we're looking for a new house. Hopefully that'll also have a separate room that I can use as an office. Because it's, like I said, I'm changing a lot within my business as well at the minute. Not taking anything away, just changing a few bits and pieces, and I'm going to be doing a lot more work online rather than in person, but I will still be doing work in person if anybody's worried about that. That will still be available. But yeah, life is just, business life is amazing if you want it to be. If it's right for you and you pick the right business, you'll absolutely love it, and you'll get so much from it. Personally, the feeling of achieving something is like nothing else. Maybe not compare it to when you're having actual children. That's probably the best. maybe that would be the only thing that would top it. But it's just like having another baby. You literally treat it like another baby. I'm so protective over my business, and I tell everybody it's like my third baby. Like, my 2 boys come before anything, and then my business comes next. And I'm not even kidding. People must laugh at me, must be like, she's a pure screwball. I'm not. I'm just a wee Glasgow mammy protecting our free reins. So I am growing my business, still continuing to grow. I will always continue to grow because, like I said to you, once you hit one target goal, make yourself another one, because you don't want to be static. So I'm constantly thinking of my next goal as well. And what I tend to do as well is once a year I make myself a 12-month plan, and I might do goals for every month, or I might do something that I'm adding in some months, or something that I'm going to do spontaneously. Everybody's different. You might want to do a month-to-month goal, you might want to do a 6-month goal, you might want to do a 12-month goal. Whatever works for you, because all our brains work differently, don't they? And some can take in a lot more knowledge than others. Some of us has more space in there than others. I'm not even going to go down that road with my brain in my head, because there's too many jokes there for me. And once you get to know me, you'll realise that there's so much potential out there for everybody, and we can all be in business and we can all thrive. And just because there's more businesses starting doesn't mean to say it's going to take anything away from your business. So whether you're considering starting, just starting, have just started, or you're already in business and you would like some help, some support, some whatever, whether it be with your business or with yourself, with your own mental health, we're here to help. We can help with your employees if you feel you're not getting enough from them, or you think there needs to be a bit of a shake up within your business. I'm squeezing my hand as if I'm squeezing a peach. I don't know why I done that when I said a wee bit of a shake up. So as I said, you can fill out the contact form on therebooksanctuary.com, or you can email either rebootyourbusinesspodcast@gmail.com or therebooksanctuary@gmail.com. If you want to phone, you can find the number online on the website, or it might come up on Google. It should be on the socials as well, so you can follow the Reboot Sanctuary, Reboot Your Business Podcast, and Reboot Your Thoughts Podcast. They are all on Facebook, TikTok and Instagram. And yeah, we'll give you a follow back. If you would like your business pushed out there, give us a shout. Listen, also on both podcasts there is options there for if anybody does want to advertise their business. We have advertising packages available. You'll not only be advertised on the podcast, you'll also be advertised on social media, and anywhere else that may be suitable. What else? I think that's it. I think that's where I'm going to leave it today. What, when, where, who, why, and you can do that in any order you want. You don't have to do it in the order that I done it, because what works for one doesn't work for another. But write your questions down. If you want to go over your questions with me, give me a shout. If you're unsure if you've got the sort of questioning right, give us a shout. I'm going to make some things that are going to help you, and they'll be part of your coaching. But again, we'll talk about that another day, because that's not quite ready yet. I nearly gave away a secret. I'm terrible. Can't hold my water. I give away too much information sometimes. My mum always gives me in trouble for that one, because I've had so many situations, not just in business, also in my personal life, probably more so in my personal life, where I've had an idea or whatever, and then I tell people, and you know what I'm going to say, don't you? And my mum will say, you keep telling me you're not going to tell anybody, blah blah blah, and then you tell her, and I'm like, I know I'm not going to tell anybody, and then I do it again, and then so I'm trying to teach myself the same as I'm teaching everybody else. Stop giving away too much information too soon. So if you hear me saying anything or starting to say something that might be too much information, say, Aileen, get me in trouble. I think that's what I need sometimes. Somebody to get me in trouble. Just don't shout at me. Don't like people shouting at me. Anywho, I am going to go, because surely my son must be due in soon. Be looking for food. I need to edit this. This obviously will be available 7 a.m. on Monday morning, Monday the 10th of March. And the next one will be available the following Monday at 7 a.m. But for now, I hope you have a lovely week. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your business. Ask yourself questions. You don't just have to ask yourself the questions I asked. Ask yourself any questions. Prompt yourself. But don't be too hard on yourself. And if you need any help or any support, give us a shout. But till next time, take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye.